Hello everyone, I'm Leifkicker, and in this video we are going to have a closer look at some of the Settlers boards that I offer. If you're here, you probably followed this from a link that I posted in one of the listings that I have. And welcome! I'm going to try to answer as many of the questions that you might have as I can. The first option that we offer is this basic 4-player board. This is going to come with enough of the tiles that you need to play a 3 to 4 player game. You are going to need to use your own cardboard frame from the original base game. My tiles are the same size as the regular hex tiles from the base game, so they should work with any of the frames that are out there from any edition. I do offer a puzzle frame myself, and this is a 4-player board. And it's held together. So with these little puzzle pieces. The harbors do come out. So you can set your board up, arrange it however you like. I like to personally use the cardboard tiles from the game, make a stack, draw down the stack, and whenever you draw the resource, you place that out. That way you can shuffle the cardboard tiles up to get a nice random board. And when you're done with that, you can just put the harbor tiles or pieces in randomly around the frame. And you'll have a nice random board each game. Here is a 6-player board. You can also just buy the 6-player version without a frame if you want to use your own cardboard frame. Here's a board example using the floating hex base. That's where you have the harbors are separate and the water is separate. This is what it might look like if you set it up like a normal board. This is a 4-player board. Or you can really mix your game up and make some really challenging maps, like so. Real quick Patreon plug. If you're thinking about picking up one of these boards, consider checking me out on Patreon. For just $1, I will add in one of these volcano tiles to your order. If you come in at $5 a month, you're going to get 10% off your order. If you're considering purchasing a large board, that discount's going to pay for your whole membership for the whole year. And I do monthly drawings once we hit our first tier, and we'll be giving away game boards if you like. Deck boxes too, I also make those. This is a Seafarers board, and I've set this up to show you the separate Seafarers tiles, which are over here on the right. You would need a 6-player game board like this. These are all the tiles that you would get in a basic 6-player game board to complete the Seafarer set. But it would look something like this. And I have a puzzle frame for it, similar to that one over there, except this one does not have any of the docks on it. Theoretically, you could pick up the 6-player game board, the entire Seafarer set, and just use your cardboard docks that you get in the game, and you would be able to play a regular 6-player game like this, but instead of having those docks, you'd have to use the cardboard, because there are enough border pieces to make that game board as well. Or, some people like to use these floating hexes, because you can have those all over the board where you like. To date, I've made 7 of each resource. So we've got 7 mountains now. 2 more come with the Seafarers version. We have 7 of the brick now, and then 2 more with the Seafarers over there. And 7 of all the other resources. This Seafarers adds on just 1 of those, though. Here's a closer look at the ore tiles. Big question. How is this going to come? What are my storage options? And right now, this is it. It is not glorious. It does the job. I stack the tiles on these foam sheets. And there's going to be a lot of these foam sheets. That'll help protect them in shipping and in storage. And we use these cardboard flats in between layers. This box will hold a full 6-player set like so. It does a great job of doing the storage, but it does not look good on the shelf. And that's where I need your help, guys. I don't have the woodworking tools. I've got the space. I've got the crafting ability to make some really nice boxes. I just don't have the tools yet. And we are going to work on getting that. I think just at the level that Patreon is right now, I'm going to be saving all that money all of 2020. And by the end of the year, I should be able to purchase all the tools I would need. Worst case scenario. This box is made by another Etsy seller. I will link in the description below to David's store. He does a great job. David also makes these wooden bases for me. I love to collaborate with other craftspersons like David, and it just helps spread the love around the community. I've stained this box. He does not offer it stained. This box is the only size that he currently makes. The lid slides on. There's little grooves. And it'll store a full 6-player set, and this is the rest of the bits left over for a 6-player set from that board right there. This is my normal board that I use. And those tiles would fit nicely in there. I would like to try out making some wooden boxes for just a 4-player board, like that one, and maybe a wooden box for a full Seafarer set. But to do that, again, I'm going to need the tools to start playing around with it. You get a lot of questions. What's this stuff made out of? How do you make it? Where can I download it? You can't download it. It's not 3D printed. These were hand sculpted, and I made a mold of the original sculpts, and I used this casting resin to make the pieces. And these are some of the molds that I've crafted. I like to cast them in a color. Because of the forest, we'll cast that in green. Here's a wheat, cast that in yellow. And we'll sand these down, clean up any of the bad edges, or the flecks, I guess it's called. Make it look nice, paint it up. We'll stain these MDF boards, and then glue these into it. Another reason I need those woodworking tools is I really want to make these out of wood, like an oak piece or walnut, something really nice. And it just ties up David's machine way too long to make those at an affordable price, so I need to be able to do that here in the shop. Here's an example of the mold. This is the box that I mold out of, mold frame, I don't know what to call it. Pour the resin or the silicone in there, and we make that mold, and from there, make my castings. I am considering making a mold that I can offer to you all, so let me know what you think about this idea in the comments below. The plan would be, I would take one of each resource, and I would go ahead and attach it to the base tile, so you can make a piece something like this. You could just cast it all in gray. This has not been sanded down, by the way. This is just a rough piece. Or, with some advanced casting techniques, you could cast it similar to how I do it. You cast it, like for this forest, this first part in green, the trees, and then you could cast on like a brown border, or whatever color border you wanted, really. Some other examples. Now, for this, to fill in the voids, I thought a clever idea would be to add on some of these smaller bits that you need for the game, the cities and whatnot. I haven't come up with a design yet that I like. I've just been playing with these. But, looking over here again, all these spaces, you could probably fit enough for one player on a mold. That way, if you were to cast this 4 times, you would have enough of these pieces for 4 people and enough tiles for a 4-player game. Cast it 6 times, and you have a 6-player game. A mold will hold up to about 40, maybe 50 castings using the platinum mold, so you can make quite a few game boards with these. I could also make another mold with the floating hex versions. I think the puzzle frame would be too complicated for me to offer at a cheap enough price that you guys might want to be able to pick up. Anyway, I would make it so you could cast this piece and all these docks, and you glue the docks separately here, and you need to cast this about 5 times. And your pieces might look like something like this. You can cast the waters in just gray, one translucent. It's just a rough idea I have right now. The biggest cost of making a set of Catan is the time it takes to paint. Usually, if everything goes well, I'm putting 25 hours into a set, not counting the cost of the materials. And if that's something you're interested in doing and you could craft all this on your own, well, it's going to cut the cost down a lot. So anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments in the description below, and thanks for watching.